As you all know, Mother passed away last month, my Aunt Victoria announced solemnly, unfolding papers at the head of the Thanksgiving table while 30 family members bowed their heads in what they apparently believed was appropriate mourning. She wanted her estate divided according to this will, which I've had certified by her attorney. The house, the investments, everything. It's time to honor her final wishes. I sat frozen, fork suspended halfway to my mouth, my brain short-circuiting as I tried to reconcile Victoria's words with reality, because I'd had coffee with Grandma Eleanor that morning. Not a memory from years ago. That actual morning, at her kitchen table, with the pumpkin pie she'd insisted I take for dessert. My grandmother was not dead. I looked around the table at family members I saw once a year, at my aunt's rehearsed grief, at the legal documents being presented as fact. Then I pulled out my phone and sent one text. Grandma, come to Aunt Victoria's house. Now, don't ask questions. The doorbell rang 10 minutes later. Let me tell you about the aunt who faked a death and the grandmother who crashed her own funeral. Grandma Eleanor was 82 years old and sharper than most people half her age. She'd built a small real estate empire starting in the 1970s, 6 rental properties, a commercial building downtown, investments that had grown steadily over 50 years. Her estate was worth approximately $4.2 million, a fortune she'd accumulated through patience, intelligence, and the particular financial discipline of a woman who'd survived poverty and never forgotten what it felt like. The family knew about the money. The family had opinions about the money. And Aunt Victoria, it seemed, had decided to stop waiting for it. Victoria was Grandma's oldest child and had always assumed she'd inherit the bulk of the estate. She'd positioned herself as the devoted daughter. Regular visits, birthday dinners, the appearance of closeness that she believed would translate into financial reward. What she didn't know was that Grandma saw through her completely. Victoria visits because she's counting, Grandma had told me once. Counting the years until I die, counting the properties, counting her share. She doesn't see me. She sees a bank account with a heartbeat. Grandma had told me this that morning, actually. Over coffee, while very much alive. I was the unexpected favorite. Not because I'd cultivated the relationship for inheritance purposes. I genuinely loved spending time with Grandma. We had coffee twice a week, talked about everything from politics to her childhood in rural Pennsylvania, and shared the particular bond of 2 people who found each other interesting. She'd mentioned recently that she was updating her estate plan. Victoria won't like the changes, she'd said with a slight smile. But I've decided to leave things to people who actually know me, not people who are waiting for me to die. I hadn't asked for details. It wasn't my business, and I didn't want money to complicate our relationship. Apparently, Victoria had decided to eliminate that complication entirely. Mother left the house to me as the eldest, Victoria continued, reading from papers that looked official enough to be concerning. The rental properties are divided among her children, myself, Thomas, and Margaret. The commercial building goes to. I stopped listening. My mind was racing through possibilities. Victoria couldn't have filed a fake death certificate. That would require medical documentation, a body, legal processes that couldn't be fabricated. Unless she hadn't actually filed anything. Unless she was simply telling the family Grandma was dead, presenting a will that may or may not be real, and counting on everyone believing her long enough to take control of assets before anyone verified anything. It was bold. Insane. And exactly the kind of desperate move Victoria might make if she'd learned about Grandma's plans to change the estate distribution. I texted Grandma again. Victoria is telling everyone you died last month. She's reading your will. The response came immediately. What? Please come. Bring proof you're alive. ID anything. I'm getting in the car now. The jewelry collection goes to my daughter Alexandra, Victoria continued, tears glistening in her eyes. Performance tears, I realized now, the kind she'd probably practiced in the mirror. Mother specifically wanted her granddaughter to have the sapphire ring, as a symbol of. Victoria, Uncle Thomas interrupted. When exactly did Mom die? I didn't see an obituary. It was private. She didn't want a fuss. But we should have been notified. You were notified. I sent emails to everyone last month. I checked my email history. Nothing from Victoria. Nothing about Grandma dying. Around the table, other family members were checking their phones, finding similar emptiness. I don't have any email from you, Cousin Marcus said. It must have gone to spam. You know how email is. Where is she buried? Aunt Margaret asked. I'd like to visit. She was cremated. Per her wishes. I have the ashes. Can we see them? Victoria's composure flickered. Just for a moment, but I caught it. They're at my house. I thought we should focus on honoring her memory today by fulfilling her final wishes. By dividing her estate at Thanksgiving dinner? Uncle Thomas's voice carried new skepticism. That seems rushed. She wanted things settled quickly. It's in the will. The will Victoria was conveniently holding. The will no one else had seen. The will that was apparently giving Victoria everything valuable while throwing scraps to the siblings she'd always resented. The doorbell rang. Every head turned toward the sound. Victoria's face went white. I'll get it, I said, already standing. We're in the middle of something important. I'll be right back. I walked to the front door with the particular satisfaction of someone about to witness something extraordinary. Grandma Eleanor stood on the porch. 82 years old, 5 feet nothing, wearing the purple cardigan I'd seen her in that morning. Very much alive. Extremely annoyed. Where is she? Grandma asked. Dining room. She's reading your will to everyone. My will that she stole from my attorney's office 3 weeks ago. I thought it had been misfiled. Grandma's eyes narrowed. She's been planning this. Apparently you died last month. Private funeral. You were cremated. I'll give her something to cremate. Grandma pushed past me into the house. The dining room fell silent as Grandma appeared in the doorway. Victoria dropped the papers. Mother? Hello, Victoria. I hear I'm dead. The chaos that erupted was immediate and comprehensive. Family members who'd been mourning moments ago now stared in shock. Uncle Thomas actually stood up and hugged Grandma like she'd returned from the grave, which, from his perspective, she had. Victoria remained frozen, her elaborate fiction crumbling in real time. I can explain. Explain what? That you told our entire family I died so you could distribute my estate before I had a chance to change it. Grandma walked toward the table, picking up the papers Victoria had dropped. This is my will from 2019. The one that gave you the house. Not the updated version I filed 2 months ago. I don't know what you're talking about. The updated version that leaves you nothing, Victoria. Because I finally understood that you don't love me. You love what I'll leave behind. The family sat in stunned silence. You were going to change the will? Victoria's voice cracked. I already changed it. The house goes to Thomas, who actually visits without counting my remaining years. The commercial building goes to Margaret, who helped me manage the properties without ever asking what she'd inherit. The rental properties are distributed among grandchildren who know my birthday without checking their phones. Grandma turned to face her eldest daughter. You get nothing. Not because I don't love you, Victoria, but because you never loved me. And I refuse to reward 50 years of performance with a single dollar of inheritance. Victoria's mask finally slipped. That money should be mine. I'm the oldest. I've been waiting. Waiting. Yes. That's exactly the problem. Grandma sat down at the table, claiming the seat Victoria had been occupying. You've been waiting for me to die since you turned 40. Every visit was an investment in your future. Every birthday card was a down payment on real estate. I took care of you. You performed taking care of me. There's a difference. Elena actually takes care of me. She has coffee with me twice a week, helps me with my garden, listens to my stories without checking her watch. Victoria turned to me with pure hatred. You've been manipulating her. Elena didn't ask for anything, Grandma interrupted. She never asked what she'd inherit. Never mentioned the will. Never treated me like a bank account with a heartbeat. She paused. Those were the exact words I used to describe you, Victoria. Years ago. To her. The legal aftermath was substantial. Victoria had, in fact, stolen the 2019 will from Grandma's attorney's office. She'd posed as Grandma to request a copy, then kept it when the updated version was filed. Her plan had been to present the stolen will to the family, claim Grandma was dead, and hope that by the time anyone verified anything, she'd have convinced family members to sign documents transferring property. It was fraud. Multiple counts. Grandma didn't press charges. She said she didn't want family drama extending into criminal courts, but she did file a restraining order. Victoria is no longer welcome at family gatherings. How did you know? Uncle Thomas asked me later that evening. I'd had coffee with Grandma that morning. When Victoria said she died last month, I knew immediately something was wrong. But you texted Grandma instead of just exposing Victoria yourself. I wanted Grandma to decide how to handle it. It's her estate. Her daughter. Her confrontation to have. Thomas nodded slowly. You really are different from Victoria. I'd like to think most people are different from Victoria. Grandma's updated will remains in effect. I'm included in it, a portion of the investments, one of the rental properties. But I genuinely didn't know that until after the Thanksgiving incident. Grandma showed me the document the following week, explaining her decisions. I left Victoria nothing because she only wanted things, Grandma said. I left you something because you only wanted me. You don't have to. I know I don't have to. That's exactly why I'm doing it. Victoria hasn't spoken to anyone in the family since that Thanksgiving. She sent one email a week after the incident, claiming she genuinely believed Grandma had died and had been confused about the timeline. No one believed her. The stolen will from the attorney's office proved premeditation. You don't accidentally forge your living mother's death. She's apparently told friends that the family turned against her, that she was unfairly excluded from her rightful inheritance, that her mother was manipulated by scheming relatives. The delusion runs deep. Grandma is 83 now. Still sharp, still opinionated, still having coffee with me twice a week. We don't talk about Victoria much. There's not much left to say, but we talk about everything else. Last week, she showed me pictures from her childhood. The poverty she'd escaped. The family members who'd taught her that love wasn't about what you could extract from people, but what you could give them. Victoria never learned that lesson, Grandma said. I tried to teach her, but some people only see value in things. I'm sorry. Don't be. I have children who love me properly. I have grandchildren who know my stories. I have you, she smiled. And I have the satisfaction of walking into my own funeral and watching Victoria realize her scheme had failed. That was pretty satisfying, I admitted. Best Thanksgiving I've ever had. As you all know, Mother passed away last month. Victoria said those words with such confidence, such certainty that her lie would hold. She didn't know I'd had coffee with Grandma that morning. She didn't know one text could summon a ghost. She didn't know that the woman she'd declared dead was 10 minutes away, very much alive, and extremely motivated to correct the record. Some schemes fail because they're discovered. Victoria's failed because the victim showed up to her own funeral.